Welcome back, Econ. So we are here learning about productivity today. Productivity is broadly defined as the measure of output per input during a given time period. So an increase in output per input indicates an increase in productivity. So that's the fancy schmancy way of saying if we increase more with the resources or if we increase the amount that we're producing with the same amount of resources that we have, we are being more productive with our resources. Okay. As productivity increases, goods and services for consumption increase. So by being more productive, we are therefore making goods and resources more available to the public, right? If we're more productive in producing chocolate bars, like we find a way to speed up the packaging process, for example, we are increasing our output by using the same resources that we are given. We are increasing our productivity and therefore able to spit out more chocolate bars in a quicker time period, and consumption opportunity increases. Both personal and national living standards are related to our productivity. So in this diagram, we have the capacity to have 5 units of output produced with 5 units of input. There are 2 different ways we could increase our productivity. Green would be producing more output with the same input, and blue would be producing the same output with fewer input. As productivity increases, production costs for each unit of a good or service decrease. Marginal cost, kind of what we talked about thinking on the margin. This looks at the amount of money it costs to produce 1 additional unit of a good or service, okay? So our outputs in this diagram, for example, okay, we are producing 6 units of output with 5 units of input. And on the bottom here, we're producing, in the blue one, we're producing 5 units of output with only 4 units of input. We can increase productivity by investing in capital or by investing in 3 possible ways: capital goods, education and training, and labor specialization. Capital goods are factory machines, tools, etc. Technology is the #1 way that we can increase our productivity overall. Education and training, we can increase productivity by by training our workers to be a little bit more productive or informed about what they're doing so they work faster or more efficiently. And lastly, we have labor specialization. So having, like, let's say we work in a factory setting, we have one person who does one specific task, another person who does another specific task, and we're not trying to become the jack of all trades and becoming experts at the whole production process from A to Z. We're specializing in one specific area. Okay, so think about this. How do you increase your productivity in your life? Why might increased productivity be essential for our economy? And in your opinion, is our economy doing a good job of being productive? Why or why not? Reflect on those questions on your cheat sheet, and we'll have some discussions in class about this as well. Okay, we're going to stop here for now. I'll explain this activity in class. This is a class activity about productivity. And we're going to wrap up here with these learning targets. So hopefully now you can define labor productivity as output per worker. We can evaluate the role of labor specialization and investment in capital goods as improving productivity. So again, if we specialize in our labor, become very specialized in doing one specific task, we are going to increase our productivity. And if we invest in resources and technology to increase our productivity and increase our efficiency, of course, we're going to increase our productivity overall. And lastly, we can describe why increased productivity is important to individuals and to the economy as a whole. Because if we have increased productivity, we're going to be able to produce more output, and therefore we're going to be able to increase our profit as an economy and as individuals. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I know I kind of flew through this, but this is a pretty basic concept that a lot of us have probably seen or heard of before in a course or just in our personal lives. But if you have any questions, as I mentioned, please feel free to reach out. We will be scaffolding and building on this here in the next slide deck, which will talk about production possibilities frontiers.